Hello everyone, my name is Wolf. I'm Vice President of Aftermarket Operations for Westfalia Technologies, and I'm excited to greet you here in the operator cabin of one of our most recently installed storage and retrieval machines here in the US. Welcome to Westfalia's Best Practices and Service. Who you need to run your ASRs. This short presentation is intended to give those customers that are coming to us with maybe just a little bit automation experience, an outlook as to how they can prepare and get our support in preparing themselves for operating an automated storage and retrieval system. On the agenda today, we have staff role changes by moving to automation and service and maintenance best practices. Staff roles in a conventional warehouse environment they're really all about the product and the process flow. You have management, scheduling, you have floor supervisors, you have material handling and picking, specifically if you send out mixed SKU pallets. You have a housekeeping crew that at times can be very busy because you have fork truck drivers to the power of 3, fork trucks everywhere, causing frequent breakage. One of the main motivation factors really to invest in an ASR system in the first place. And of course, you have facility maintenance that puts those fork trucks back together and those conveyors and the facilities and keep them all in shipshape. After moving to an automated warehousing system, it's really all about keeping the wheels of that system turning. You still have your management, your scheduling, and your floor supervisors, but you will likely see some full-time equivalent savings on the material handling and picking side of things, specifically invested into automation for those processes as well. And you will see a reduction in breakage because there will be less fork truck drivers and therefore less needs for housekeeping. You will, though, also see a gain in full-time equivalents for system operators, which is a new role, operators that attend the system during the operating hours, and a system maintenance team that is now not only taking care of facilities, but also the system as well. What does this mean for your workforce? You have a huge growth opportunity for your A team. There will be people in your team that will recognize the career opportunity of being exposed to automation and will see that as that career boost that it is, and they will be excited and motivated and ready to take this on, and they will support you and their organization, their employer, and they will be engaged. And they will require training. Your hiring process will definitely change because there will be new skill sets required, both in the applicant, but also in the hiring manager that needs to assess and inquire about those skill sets. Please do include your team very early in the project, because at that point, they can build their skills as we do our project work of installing and commissioning and ramping up the system for you. The only cost for you at that time is payroll for these employees. We do not charge anything for that training that we provide, as your employees would shadow our team as we perform our work. We embrace and encourage you to bring your team and have them participate in our project work, because it only benefits us as well, because at that point that your system goes live, your team will be ready for it. They will be able to handle it, and our life will be much easier as well. So please accept that payroll cost during the installation time of the process and bring in your team early, bring the right people in early, and make sure that they are excited about their future with your organization. A strong partner like Westfalia will help you navigate these challenges by helping you with any staffing needs and providing you with the advice that you may seek, or to allow you to outsource tasks either temporarily or even permanently. That leads us into service and maintenance best practices. There's really 2 scheduling options that you should be looking at that are being offered to you, and that's really the traditional quarterly preventive maintenance inspections, the PMIs, which is really a somewhat reactive way of doing maintenance, because those are bigger planned downtime windows that occur every so often, usually about every 3 months. They have a major impact on your productivity. They take the whole system down for a whole weekend, maybe even longer. They are rather slow to follow up on any findings because the next event is only 3 months down the road, or no sooner than 3 months down the road. So it is almost somewhat reactive, even though it says preventive maintenance. They are also costly if not provided by regional resources because it's a huge amount of work being squeezed into a very short window of time, even though it is a long downtime window, but there's a lot of work to be done during these few days. And it does require that a large workforce is being brought in to perform all of this within the given time frame. What we suggest instead is a lean recurring maintenance, which is really following the modern lean manufacturing principle. Frequent, short, planned downtime windows with a much less dramatic impact. Our automation equipment usually has enough horsepower and throughput capacity that we can either work ahead of schedule or make up for lost time if those downtime windows are planned and short. And therefore, the impact on your operation and your system availability is much less. It is also allowing us for much faster follow-up because we can now respond a week or two later because we have the next downtime window coming on that specific piece of equipment. So it's a much more proactive approach of doing maintenance. It does require regional presence. It's not something that works if we have to fly people in or drive them in for hours at a time. And it is even scalable to the point that we can provide a resident presence where one of our employees is working along, or multiple of our employees are working alongside your team to perform maintenance. The overhead cost here is low because now the mobilization is no more than really a commute to a workplace instead of bringing people from all over the country for a weekend. All of this is scalable to your heart's content. You have all the options available to you. You can do and focus. You can focus on in-house maintenance and staff performing these services and maintenance tasks, or you can outsource them all the way to us with having no hiring and employment concerns on your end and having us handle all of this for you, or you can have anything in between. We do suggest that you require your service provider to invest in strategic acknowledgement to avoid that all of that experience and knowledge of the senior technicians is tribal and in their head, and once they move on, that knowledge is being lost. To multiply that knowledge in regions remote from the headquarters of a service provider, you do need a strategic knowledge management, a resource, a person that is extracting that tribal knowledge from your team, from the technician team, from the engineering department, even from sub-supplier specialists, and taking that knowledge and making it available to those people in the region to ensure that they perform and being held accountable for performing tried and proven best practice maintenances. A comprehensive system support that you want to look for is really a planned preventive maintenance like we just described, combined with on-site spare parts inventory that is crucial for the success and for system availability. Without on-site spare parts, it is not feasible to respond timely to any corrective actions that are needed. On top of that, you want to look for a 24/7 software remote support that handles your warehouse management software needs and any concerns and any downtime there that may occur. And of course, a controls environment, automation controls environment, remote support team also available 24/7 that can dial in and help with any recovery issues that you may face. If for some reason the on-site spare parts inventory has a gap and it is a somewhat standard part, then your provider ought to have a 24/7 emergency parts support team that is possibly even going as far as pulling a part from inventory and hopping in a car, hopping on a plane and bringing that part to you instead of having a shipping process that may take a couple of days. And finally, if all of this fails, you're looking at a supplier that has an emergency on-site support dispatch if it requires that one of our specialists is coming on site to help you with a downtime situation. We're now open for your questions. Thank you for listening.